Welcome back to Recorder Works. This is the second video ever for this channel. Today I want to talk about sheet music, and I also want to play Frere Jacques for you and show you some things about Frere Jacques. So first thing, sheet music, right? So I think it is often overdone and not necessarily used appropriately. I make a comparison with learning to read and write before you can talk. So the symbols on the page are representing complex sets of movements and sounds and all sorts of, complex stuff going on. And if you're trying to learn those complex things as well as trying to recognize the symbol for them at the same time, I think that's not particularly constructive. So I would say if you're interested in learning the recorder, by all means, learn to read music alongside whatever else you're doing, but certainly spend at least half of your time, I would say, away from the dots. And there's various reasons for that. So one important one is creativity. So if you get into the habit of only playing what's on the dots, then you're much less likely to play around, try things out, make mistakes, learn from your mistakes, integrate your mistakes, and so on and so forth. Also, creativity in terms of the way that you're learning the instrument itself. So if you just play a tune and you're not playing it particularly well, but that's all you do is just play that tune, you're not necessarily going to isolate the particular sticking points that particularly need practice. So let me show you what I mean in the context of Frere Jacques. So we have in Frere Jacques, we have this movement. And it might be that you're not particularly good at going from G down to D and back again, but you might be very good at the rest. So you keep playing the tune, and when you get to that point, you keep making the same mistake and basically practicing your mistake and getting better at your mistake. So the sheet music is unlikely to tell you to isolate that little component until you're really good at it and then go back to building it back into the tune. So lots of reasons I would say for certainly alongside learning to read music, learning to play by ear, also playing by memory. So developing your musical memory, the ability to play tunes from memory. It's like developing a muscle. So you may not be very good at it to start with, but the more you do it, the easier it gets. And you'll be surprised how quickly you can play whole tunes, quite long tunes, multi-part tunes. So I mean, there's some tunes in the Irish tradition, for example, that have like 7 parts. One called the Golden Ring, I think, has 7 parts. And if you get into the habit of playing from memory, it's not actually that difficult to do that kind of thing, but you have to actually, go down that path. You've got to set off down that path before you get to the point where you can do it. So that's the first part. And then the second part is Frere Jacques. So the notes we need, that's G, A, B, C. It's got the thumb as well on the back. Okay, I haven't done this before. I'm not quite sure how to rotate it so you can see it clearly. But yeah, thumb is on the back for C. And then D, that's literally just that finger there. Thumbs off. And then E, it's like low E. So if you don't know low E, the best way to get it is play G, put 2 more fingers down. But then the problem is the thumb at the back, right? It's quite hard to get the angle on this. So the thumb is going to half cover the whole. People do it differently. Some people, they kind of angle the knuckle like that, and some people just kind of roll it. But the point is you need about half of the hole covered, so your nail might need a bit of trimming to get it. But for the high notes, that's generally what you need to do with your thumb. You half cover that thumb hole. So we have those are the notes we need. Come down again. And then there are notes in between in the scale, but you only really need the D. So I'm all for playing scales, but I'm also getting tongue-tied here. I'm all for playing scales, but I'm also for playing little bits of tunes that need isolating and practicing on. So the scale isn't as relevant because we don't need the intermediate notes. So we just need to practice. And there's a couple of things there. There's like an ornament I'm putting on the G. That's probably coming from tin whistle playing. So that's the tune, but of course you can do other stuff with it, and it's a good idea just to kind of play around. So okay, so just, it's called playing music for a reason. So you want to kind of get into that spirit of playfulness and creativity around it. Of course, you need the discipline to actually play correctly, but when you put the two together, that's when the magic of music can happen. So that's it for this video. I'm going to probably make a video quite soon on using a loop station to play rounds. So Frere Jacques is an excellent tune to play rounds. If you want to follow along with that, then learn the tune, you know, make sure you can play the tune. You may not have a loop station, but you may have a buddy with a recorder, so you can play rounds with your friend. So yeah, this is Recorder Works, and if you're interested in this kind of material about the recorder, then please subscribe to the channel, like the video if you do like it, because that will help YouTube to find me. And thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.